Hi YouTube, this is Joe Kelton with Kelton Cutlery. You can visit me on the web, keltoncutlery.com. Okay, so we are going to continue our Diamond Stone series, the new one. This first round of videos is just the kind of the introduction to each stone. And I'm trying to keep the videos short, so each video's got its own stone. Today we're talking about the Atoma. Yesterday, this is the Atoma 400. The last one was the Harbor Freight Diamond Home Block. Pretty impressive value when you consider that stone is $10.47 or 57 cents. And you got 4 different surfaces. And then, well, we've gone through a whole bunch of them. But anyway, today's the Atoma. I'm looking it up on Amazon Prime right now. It says I purchased this stone in 2018. So six years ago. And it says right now they are $49.50, and their original price is $62.20, and so they're 20% off right now. and it's free delivery. So anyway, $50 stone. So the Atomas. So I got introduced to these. These are a stone that I really just do not get along very well with at all. You know, there for a while, they were all on the forums, you know, they were the latest and the greatest and the Cadillac, and everybody raved about them, right? But I was still liking my DMTs. Well, I went to a straight razor makers meet down in Texas. A whole bunch of guys going down there talking about making straight razors. Some of us made some straight razors, honing, you know, just there was probably about a dozen or 20 of us, something like that. And then we just all hung out at Charlie's shop. He's the guy, if you like straight razors, go look his videos up. Charlie Lewis, Lewis Razors, if I remember right. That dude, now his videos are all like 10 years old, right? But he did some really cool editing and made some really nice razors on there. So we all, you know, met up at Charlie's shop, and we all hung out and talked about straight razors and made straight razors and honed straight razors and, you know, everything for like 2 or 3 days. It was a really good time. Well, one of the guys had just got some of these Atomas. And so I took a look at them, sharpened a knife on one, and I really didn't see what all the fuss was about. So then I got home and I ordered one. And it got here, and I spent a little bit more time with it, and I still don't understand what all the fuss is about. If you look at this stone under magnification, it kind of looks like a cross in between like a normal continuous surface stone and an interrupted surface stone, okay? So like these stones right here, when they make them at the factory, okay? I mean, I've never been there. I've never seen exactly how they do it. But what I'm imagining in my head is that they take this piece of steel that's flat, and then they either coat it with glue or, you know, some sort of adhesive. And then they probably have like a paint sprayer, and it sprays them diamonds on there, right? And so you have a more or less a nice even coating of diamonds. And they're probably all haphazardly, you know, whatever way the diamond hits the plate, it sticks, and that's it. These ones right here, when I get the microscope and we'll get it out, they're almost like a structured diamond pattern on here. So you look at them and there's like little bitty clumps, islands of diamonds all over the surface here. Very similar to like an interrupted surface stone, only in reverse. So instead of, you know, the color that you see here being holes in the plate, it'd be like the colors that you're seeing here are the diamonds, and they're in little bitty islands. And then, you know, the gray is the surface below the diamonds. Which, so I finish most of my edges with micro bevels. And micro bevels, it has a hard time with that, because instead of that edge, you know, getting sheared off nice and cleanly on a flat stone with a whole bunch of points coming up, it's like that edge is trying to get caught in between each one of those you know, pile or clumps of diamonds. So maybe if I, you know, change my technique a little bit, you know, maybe these would work quite a bit better for me. But I haven't done that, and so honestly, I haven't had that good of luck. So this stone, while it might be, what did it say, 6 years old or so, you know, it's fairly fresh, or at least should be, because I haven't used it all that much because we don't get along all that well. But we'll go ahead and do kind of the same thing that we were doing on the other ones. This is our flat, you know, utility blade scraper. And then we'll run it across the stone this way, and then we'll turn the stone around, do it the other way, and in that way you can kind of hear what the stone sounds like. Now, it doesn't sound bad at all. You can tell once the blade gets up to about here or so that this, you know, the ends haven't been used very much at all. So, I mean, it feels nice and smooth. It doesn't feel like there's any, you know, extra large clumps of diamonds up there that are hanging up on the edge or anything. It doesn't feel, it kind of feels in between a DMT or Sharpall and the plastic kind of construction, which makes sense because I believe that this plate is aluminum, because it's not near as heavy as steel. And the way that these things were made, you can buy extra replacement pads, I guess. So this right here, so this is pretty much an aluminum plate that has like a replaceable pad that has the diamonds in it. So it doesn't feel as crisp to me. It feels like, especially when you put a little bit of pressure on there, that there's, and I'm sure that there isn't, it just feels like that, but it almost feels like there's a little bit of give in between, you know, the blade and this pad, and then the, you know, the plate. And that was one thing, it was just an odd feeling, and I didn't really, never really cared for it all that much. But, I mean, it feels good. You know, it doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of trash on there. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing that we've been doing with the other one. Here's that Damascus bench knife. And, of course, we sharpened it in the last video. You can see it's taking some hairs. I mean, it's not popping them, but it's taking them. But we can't, you know, I mean, if I was to try to sharpen an already sharp knife, somebody out there would be like, hey, no, that knife was already sharp. So let's wreck the edge on it. Okay. You should be able to see light reflecting off of that, because I wrecked that pretty bad. Let's grab a Post-it note here. It's starting to cut because it's a thin blade. But yeah, it's got nothing, and we got some pretty serious light reflecting. So let's get to work and put a new edge on it. Now, it feels nice and aggressive. It really does. And you know, I might be wrong. You know, I mean, I was way wrong about those Harbor Freight stones. I never really used those to sharpen knives, just because maybe I thought that because they were only $10 that they couldn't do a good job, but that one really did. Okay, so we are about halfway there to getting rid of all that damage that I just put on with that brick. So it's cutting good. It does feel different. Yeah, it feels quite a bit different with the blade on the top. It's almost like the diamonds are impregnated in very, very hard leather, and there's a little bit of give, you know, during the stroke. And then the vibration that you get off of the stone, you know, the feedback and that vibration is about halfway in between a DMT or the Sharpall and the Harbor Freight or the Husky or the Lansky, you know, the plastic construction type of stones. Okay, so I can't really see any flat spots anymore. But I don't quite have a burr yet, so there's one. It's a light one, but it's there. And there's a light burr on that side also. Okay, so now we'll take, wipe it on the old blue jeans, get rid of the steel particles and, all the trash that's on there. Take all that off. Now we're just gonna reduce the number of strokes in between sides and reduce our pressure. I guess I probably ought to hold it up where you can see it. And that vibration, that's one of those things that, I can tell the difference, and I swear that while I'm sharpening, a lot of times I can tell, that I formed a burr almost as much by the feel of the blade on the stone as by picking it up and looking at it. I don't know how you'd test that or quantify it or not, but I swear that's what's happening. Okay, so that burr should be nice and prepped and ready to go. Yeah, I don't feel it on either side. So now, again, like just all the other stones, that right there, well, can you see it? Oh, this is a 3x8, whereas those other stones we've been working at have been 2s or 2.5s. So anyway, so that's about the angle of the bevels. That right there is about the angle that I've been sharpening at. That's going to be the angle that we're going to shear the burr off with. So now let's shear the burr. See, I can feel that edge trying to dig in between the clumps of diamonds. This side right here, I'm not feeling anything. This side here, I'm feeling something just a little bit here and kind of towards the tip. Okay, so I don't feel anything either way now. Let's do the old arm hair shaving test. It's taking hair. And a couple of them are actually popping off. Let's go this way. Yeah, it's taking hair good off both sides. That'll be interesting. Sometimes I swear I learn learn quite a bit from making these videos as I do from watching everybody else's. But so it's taking hair, not popping them, but taking them, and it's cutting paper real nice and easy. It does feel odd though, but after that, maybe I'll break this thing out once in a while and put an edge on it. I know I'm going to have to break it out, and we're going to have to look at the scratch pattern that it leaves and look at the surface of the stone underneath the microscope when we get to microscope day. And then not only are we going to do that, but then we're also going to have to do some cut tests. So probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to break out my old manila rope, which there's a coil of it up on the shelf over there. And those coils I think are like 150 foot. 150 or two, well, there's probably a sticker on the side of them. And I think that's my third one. So when I first got started making knives, the rope cutting test was kind of my, I used that to compare heat treats and different stones and just all kind of stuff. I haven't really been doing a whole lot of cut testing lately because I've been working on pocket knives and understanding the mechanics and, just improving my skills on making a nice pocket knife. So probably what I'll end up having to do, we'll have to do a microscope day with all the stones and 2 knives. where we're just looking at the stones and looking at the scratch patterns. And then we'll have to do another series, you know, so that'll be either a series or just one video, I don't know. And then we'll have to do another one where we take a knife and we sharpen it with, you know, each different stone, and then do a cut test with it and see if it'll go 100 cuts, 200 cuts, 300 cuts, see if there's a difference in the amount of pressure it takes to make each cut, you know, just all kind of stuff like that. But that one, you know, that one edge right there has made me think that I might have to take this stone out a couple more times and try it. Maybe I'll have a little bit better luck. Like I said, I bought this stone like, what, 8 years ago? Or 6 years ago, and I've, you know, I mean, everybody gets better the more they practice, and so I've practiced quite a bit since then. Maybe my skills are a little bit better and take advantage of this stone now. But anyway, so again, this is the Atoma 400. I think it was $50 off Amazon, delivered. Doesn't seem like a bad stone, just a little bit different than the stones that I'm used to. So again, this is Joe Calton with Calton Cutlery. Visit me on the web, caltoncutlery.com. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you next time.